Hello, Kubina. Thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Can we just start off by telling everyone that will be listening in kind of a bit about yourself, a bit of your property background, and kind of what you was doing before HLE?
Hi Tej, thanks for inviting me and for having me on this platform. Yeah, as you mentioned, my name's Kubina. I'm pretty new to the property game. I started last year taking on one serviced accommodation from another deal sourcer. That one didn't actually go quite as planned. We had some technical difficulties and there was some sort of errors in the contracts and so on and so forth. So we ended up giving that one up. And I was looking for a while for a reliable sort of deal sourcer, as I was very keen on adding more properties to my portfolio and getting started. I came across HLE. I think it was either on TikTok or Instagram. I can't remember now, but yeah, I came across you guys, had a look, done sort of my own research, due diligence to figure out who exactly you are, what you offer, and yeah, after that, I was pretty convinced and decided to reach out to you guys and see what you're about.
Yeah.
From if my memory sets me right, I spoke to yourself, who sort of just explained what you are, what you do as a company, and how you can possibly offer or how you can help me sort of get properties into my portfolio. I joined a group chat where you posted, it was, I think it was a property in Luton, which I ended up going to have a viewing for. On the viewing, it didn't sort of, yeah, I wasn't up to scratch for what I wanted in my portfolio. So I think I communicated that with you, and you guys were very helpful in sort of very helpful in looking for another one that did meet my specification and my needs. So I think about 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, you found the property which I did end up taking, and yeah, it's been great ever since.
Perfect. We love to hear it, Kubina. Thank you very much for that. And in regards to the property you did take from us, I should say, could you just explain what property it was, the location, and if you remember off the top of the heads, any kind of figures on that?
Yeah, so it is a two-bedroom, two-bathroom flat in Harsden. It's about 10 minutes from Wembley and Wembley Stadium. So it's great for, yeah, it's a pretty high demand area with high occupancy rates. The rent on the property was £2,000. And then when you include all bills, I think all in, we're looking about 2,300 on a monthly basis. I am still pretty early on. I think I only signed the contract, or sorry, I only got the keys to the property for the beginning of July. So it's been about a month and a half, just under that, since I've been in the property. But as soon as I took it, it went flying. I think I did a viewing, not a viewing, sorry, I did a quick sort of introductory meeting with the landlord a week before I was due to collect the keys. The landlord let me take pictures, which allowed me to sort of post the property on the different sites early and try and secure some bookings just before we got the contract signed. The keys, the keys on that sort of initial contract date. That did help a lot as I was able to secure about 3 or 4 bookings for the month of July before we before I actually got the keys to the property. So I think it took me about 2 days after getting the keys to set the property up. Um, and in those 2 days, I was able to post sort of more accurate pictures that reflected exactly what the property was, what I had to offer. And yeah, I think July went it sort of went by the blink of an eye looking back on it, but it was pretty busy. I think I reached about 85% occupancy,
Brilliant.
which was a lot higher than expected. Yeah, it was a lot higher than expected. So yeah, it's been a great sort of investment for me.
Brilliant. And you've kind of already
Yeah.
touched, I was going to say, you've already touched upon kind of the occupancy you had received in July. What are your kind of future bookings looking like at the moment, if you've had any come in?
Yeah, so I've actually got some guests staying there as we speak right now. I've got about, I'd say, just over 70 or roughly 70% for the month of August. I've also got some bookings in for September, as we speak. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. And as I mentioned, it's quite close to Wembley. It's also got great transport links, which helps. I've had sort of guests coming from Amsterdam. I've had guests from America, from the UAE. So yeah, all over, and also here in the UK. So it's great when it comes to that because easy access for those that are coming in to stay.
Of course, Kabina. And you are self-managing, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm self-managing it.
And you said that the first unit you had taken didn't work so well. From a self-managing perspective, I know that one was more so on contracts, but have you faced any challenges self-managing? How did you start self-managing? Was it self-taught? Where did you learn the information from?
I guess it would have been sort of self-taught and just my own research into this whole property, so service accommodation and how certain people do it. So yeah, I've been able to manage it myself, with the help of some family members as well. I think going forward, as my portfolio grows, I'll probably have to take a bit more of a hands-off approach and bring sort of well create a team to help me handle it more as more properties come in. But yeah, so far it's been pretty easy. I've got a cleaner that comes in and cleans it after each guest stays, and there's great communication between me and her. And yeah, she understands the needs and my needs for the property. I was also understand what she needs, and it's been great, pretty much working with her. So yeah, I think the self managed aspect of it is has been running quite smoothly for me so far.
Brilliant. And rightfully so, like you said, as your portfolio expands, you would be looking more so on the hands-off route, because correct me if I'm wrong, you also work full-time whilst managing the property.
Yeah. So I've got how would you put it, a 9 to 5. I'm a project manager as a day job, and then sort of property investment on the side, I guess you could say.
Brilliant. And it seems like they're both going very well for you. So you've really touched
Yeah.
on being around kind of how you found HLE through social media. What's it been like for yourself as a client working with HLE? So the interactions you've had with us, how have you found it all?
No complaints whatsoever. I think I mentioned that I had difficulty with my previous deal sourcer that sourced us a previous property. It was an absolute headache working for her, and I was very skeptical as to the whole deal sourcing sort of aspect of things. I almost felt like it was a bit of a scam. It was just a quick payday for those that are doing it. But having worked with HLE, I've sort of come to understand that maybe it was partly on my side to do more research into that and not just go with what someone tells you when they offer you something. HLE great in communication, both before, during, and after signing of the contracts. They've offered me help in sort of different cleaners even before I had an idea that I might need it or whatever it was. I think also linen companies as well, and just general ideas on how I can increase occupancy rates. So yeah, no, definitely highly recommended. No complaints from my end. It's just yeah, nothing but praise if I'm being honest.
We definitely do appreciate Quivina. Honestly, we thank you for that feedback. Anything in particular working with HLE that's kind of stood out to yourself?
I think for me, communication is the most important thing. That was sort of my biggest concern, or it's been my biggest problem with working with others in the past. I think once everyone knows what each other expects, it makes everything run a lot smoother. Um, there weren't really any headaches per se in this whole process, but yeah, I think just sort of communicating what the landlord might need, what I needed, just like even the referencing process, just talking me through every step of the way, making sure that I was up to date with the whole process. Also, I think yeah, as I mentioned, I went in a week before just to have a look at the property before signing the contract and getting the keys. HLE were very sort of helpful in getting that set up and getting me or allowing me to take pictures of the property to secure some bookings beforehand. So yeah, I'd say my biggest thing would definitely be communication.
Brilliant.
Can't fault that. So
Oh,
HLA.
I was going to say, Quibina, it sounds like you're very successful now with the service accommodation you've got up and running. We don't wish you nothing but more success going forward within this. And as always, when you are looking to expand, by all means, get in touch with us and we'll support you again with the next ventures.
Most definitely. I definitely look forward to working with you guys and hopefully taking more properties on and expanding my portfolio. So yeah, no, thank you. Thanks to Tej and the whole HLE team for all your help. It's been great.
And anyone that's potentially watching Quabina that's looking to start off in service accommodations, do you have any kind of tips, any pointers, just for them to kind of go away and do before actually getting involved in rent service accommodation?
Yeah, I would say firstly due diligence. Due diligence is a major part. I didn't do the due diligence that was required for my first property, which ultimately ended up being a significant reason as to why that fell through. I'd say HLE help a lot when it comes to that. They provide a was it some a package essentially where they break down all the numbers, your initial investment, what you can expect to get received back, whether there's a hands-on sort of investment or a hands-off investment where you have a sort of a property manager managing it for you. So yeah, I'd say my tip would definitely be do your due diligence, and also the service accommodation sort of avenue is never a walk in the park. So be ready for a lot of headaches. And I'd say the main thing is just if it's something that you're wanting to do, it's definitely one that I'd recommend. But it's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. So just be ready and be resilient, essentially. So yeah, that would be my tip.
Definitely appreciate all that, Kabina. But once again, thank you very much for the time and the opportunity today for us to get the review from yourself. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, again, just major thanks to everyone from the HLE, especially yourself, Tej. It's been great working with you guys, and as mentioned, I'll definitely be looking forward to taking on more properties with you guys, hopefully in the near future. So thanks to all from
Most
HLE.
definitely. And thank you very much for being a great client to ourselves as well, Kabina. Most definitely, we'll probably be in touch in a couple of weeks just as a check-in to see how everything's going for August. But yeah, we'll remain in touch and hopefully everything goes well for you.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Tej.
No problem. You take care now.
And you too.
Bye.
Bye.